Once upon a time, there was a game called Darksiders on the Xbox 360.
Darksiders 1.
Darksiders 1.
It's just called Darksiders.
Was it just called? Yeah.
Well, you wouldn't. I mean, the first game in the series, would you call it like?
I want to make a game like that now. I want to make a game like that now where I just call it 1. Like that has to be Battlefield 1.
But that came later, and there was a pun.
Yeah.
Like you would like.
I want to do that so bad.
All I'm saying is like.
But the best part is if you put 1 but never make another sequel.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's not called Ukulele 1.
Ukulele
It should have though. It would have been great.
I don't know if they're making another one of those.
Yeah.
Probably not. Anyway, Darksiders 1. It came out a bunch of years ago. Was it 2010, 2011, something like that?
I think somewhere around there.
Something in
It
that
sounds
ballpark?
good, so we'll run with it.
It was the late 20-aughts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah.
There's this game. It's got some pretty cool combat, some hack and slash in it. It also has some puzzle elements. It was like an
Dark
adult Zelda.
Yep.
Should have been called Dark Zeldas.
Dark Zeldas 1
1.
did well enough that it warranted a sequel in Darksiders 2.
Fun
and
game,
then some things happened in THQ land, and
went out of
Darksiders
business.
did not get the follow-up we thought it would receive.
Well, yeah, apparently they were in limbo still. They weren't bid on.
Yeah.
So they split up the IPs. When THQ went under, they split up the IPs and a bunch of other...
Vigil went under.
Yes.
Vigil was the original dev, and then they dissolved. They split. The head, Joe Mad, went and made Airship Syndicate.
Yep.
And the other guys made Gunfight Games.
Yep.
And still in Austin, Texas. Yeah.
Figures.
Yeah. But and then eventually Nordic was like, oh yeah, I want Darksiders.
Yes.
I think enough people wanted that game though. Like there was like a lot of demand for that game.
Well,
so.
from what I understand, the production that was put into creating 3, it was happening. I remember I was at a PAX one year, and there was a guy that was making statues for collector's editions. Like he was one of those guys that designed them.
Oh, that's cool.
And he showed us, an early version of a Darksiders 3 collector's edition statue. And he's like, obviously this game never came out. So
what was the statue?
I don't remember.
Damn
it wasn't painted. I kicked myself for not remembering what it was. But it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But it wasn't for sale. It was just like, he's like, here's,
Well,
then fuck
here's
that guy.
some of my work.
Yeah, why would he put that there then?
It was some of his work. He's just, here are the things that I've worked on. Yeah.
I guess.
Like a living portfolio. Here we are, Darksiders 3, just getting announced this week. I believe this is one of the few things that like IGN actually got to break on their own.
Yeah. It's IGN first. They're going to be breaking stories about it exclusively for the next month.
So they've done that in the past with some other like fighting games where you'd come up with a new character this week or a new game mode and stuff like that. So we're gonna be getting in the IV for Darksiders 3.
Yeah.
Yes, basically.
Little drip. Okay.
Drip, with the whip.
Yeah.
Whip blade.
The whip drip.
Whip
drip.
I don't know. I'm not familiar with the drip whip.
You gotta do drip whip.
The drip whip.
You gotta whip drip. You get drip to whip, and then you gotta whip it, and then when you whip it, you got.
Whip it real good?
You do have to whip it real good, but it's really important that when you whip it, at the end of it, a little drip.
Oh.
So you whip drip.
That's what it sounds like. Whoop.
Yeah.
Darksiders 3. Your level of excitement for a follow-up to a series that we didn't really think this game was going to happen.
What was your impression of the trailer? Granted,
we sat here for like maybe.
That's my problem. Is
5 minutes?
It's not even like a problem. But those early production trailers don't really do a whole lot for me. Only because I'm more interested in the actual application of the gameplay.
But they showed gameplay though. It was very little. It wasn't.
I don't think this trailer was representative.
There was gameplay in that trailer.
I don't remember any gameplay.
I assure you, this trailer was representative of the gameplay.
But it said gameplay trailer on the title.
At max, it was in engine, but I don't think it was.
I will give you in engine, but I do not.
I don't buy it.
Are you fucking with me right now?
I'm dead serious. Like
I have to double check that.
Because I did not get the impression.
While you give us your impressions, I will pull this up.
I did not. I am excited.
Did you play those games?
I did.
Okay.
I'm excited for I'm excited for 3. I really enjoyed 1 and 2. I really felt like 1 was just one of those like diamonds in the rough. Came out at a time where so many other games were just doing such big business and a lot of people passed on it.
Yeah.
So this, I'm happy to see it get a follow up. I hope they do the franchise justice.
All right, let's talk about what we know from the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
So the council, the Charred Council, which is the big
The big
statues
with the stuff coming out of their face.
Yeah, glowing fire and all that stuff. 7 Deadly Sins are out, and you have to kill them all. Mm-hmm. One thing that I thought was really weird was when Fury went up those steps, she didn't seem to give a shit about war. She was like,
she said she did.
Hi, brother, but she wasn't like there to help him or anything. Right.
Which is cool.
It kind of leads you to believe that like
they don't they're not on good terms.
Well, where does this take place? And what has happened in the meantime?
It's just it's still in the post-apocalyptic future,
right? But at the same time, like as far as like timeline in relation to the other titles, you look at it and go, okay, am I going to need to read a comic book? Am I going to need to get a lore fill in?
This is not Halo 5. You're not going to have to read novels and comic books to understand the story.
I never played the first two. I've only watched other people play them. So Timeline. Welcome to Joe's Timeline Company. Timeline-wise, I don't know. Like, I don't care about spoilers. Spoiler alert. What does Death actually end up saving War at the end of 2?
I haven't finished the second one.
Oh shit!
Because I was kind of, to be honest, I was a little disappointed.
Really? With 2?
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. That looked like the best of the three.
I like the. Well, a lot of people like the second one more. I have conflicting views.
It's for
I
emo kids.
I felt the first one was the stronger of the two.
Really? Okay.
I did. Now, another thing that we had talked about, kind of off camera, was that you get you had a little moment of disappointment where you're looking at this and going, how much are they really going to be able to fit in this game? Because what are the chances that they follow this title up with a Darksiders 4 or other games?
Yeah.
So you're looking at the things that
it's a gamble.
After having played the first two, there were things that you wanted to do in a hypothetical Darksiders 3 that if we are to go by this trailer, which may or may not be gameplay,
is it gameplay on the thing?
Does it have everything that we are looking for in a sequel like that?
I was hoping that they would have Fury and Strife because I don't know if there's going to be another sequel, and I would like to be able to play as both.
I think it's got strong enough legs to have a fourth.
I hope so. I hope it does well.
Because
first and foremost, I hope it's good.
Limbo. It really did fall in limbo. People were wondering why this didn't get picked up when it did, because when you look at some of the other franchises that got picked up in that fire sale,
it's fucking sports games that got grabbed out.
WWE, Saints Row, and
it was pretty clear that it was coming out after Definitive Edition of the second game and War Master Edition.
But that's the thing is like those things had huge like pulls and pushes when the Definitive Edition and when the War Master came out. Like, I don't think there's a lack of fan base for this game. That's the reason why I think a fourth one can come out.
That's why it was so strange that the IP kind of sat in intellectual property limbo when games like Homefront were finding footing on current gen consoles. And the first one wasn't even that
They
exciting.
Dug a grave for that game and threw it in it. Like that series is over, which is sad.
Gasoline.
Yeah, it was a good series. Like the first one I thought was fine. It was just rushed, and then the second was just atrocious. I'm sorry, that was a really bad game.
Yeah. There was some things I didn't like about the trailer. And that was she looks a little weird in the face.
All the characters look a little weird in the face.
I'm fine with
going
everybody,
back to that,
but like
I didn't even think of it that way, but
they definitely deviated from her original design, and I don't think it was for the best. Okay, sure, she didn't have a lot of clothes on in the original design. That's not what I'm talking about. Because if you're gonna cover up whatever, but it's just gray. Yeah. It's just really like boring, generic armor, and I wish that they would have kept like some of the
clothy bits.
Yeah, clothy bits just to make it like have multiple.
I mean, she's got a little. She's got some fabric in there. The other thing I was bringing up before we were live or recording, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I'm
not a fan of that picture actually.
She's a magician. She's a mage.
She's a mage.
So
don't say magician. I feel like she's taking rabbits out of hats.
She's a wizard. She's a wizard. She's been to Hogwarts. She's been training a snake for 5 years. Like I assure you that there's gonna probably be like
she's gonna have a different form.
She's gonna have different forms, maybe different outfits. I don't know, something like that. I know none of the other dudes had.
War
had different.
You could. It was.
He had different weapons.
It was a collectathon of things that you had to get his armor.
Oh, cool shit! I didn't know that. Yeah. How about that?
about that?
I did that after I beat the game. I went and I was like, okay, I got the armor now, and I'm like, and I'm done.
Yeah.
I don't know. I picked up the they had a sale recently on Steam.
Yeah.
That I think it was $20. You got both of the first 2 games,
yeah.
like remaster and everything.
That's a good deal,
which is fucking awesome. Yeah.
Darksiders 1
and
Darksiders 2
with all the delk.
With all the delk.
Yeah.
I think now is the right time for a game like this. I think there's a lot of positive mind share around those action RPG games with the puzzle elements. I think Zelda did really well. I know I harp on Zelda a lot, but
no, it's true.
What was that one
Code
game?
Vein.
Code Vein. Yeah.
Code Vein trailer came out.
What I think is odd though is I can see some very big like parallels between Code Vein and Darksiders.
Yeah.
So it's like
after the world's ended and all that stuff. Yeah.
But why would you decide to put out or announce a game like that in the shadow of another bigger game?
I'm just as interested in that game though. Like the art style I think is different enough where it's gonna scratch a different itch probably, and it's vampires.
That doesn't help this case for me. But I don't have anything necessarily against vampires, but usually when vampires are in video games, they're really shitty. Except for
Legacy of Kain.
Yeah. It seems like when was the last game like this that Bandai made?
Like a hack and slash game?
Neo wasn't theirs, was it?
What, Neo?
Yeah, Neo wasn't Bandai, was it?
I'm not 100% sure if that was.
Do you remember that game, Neo?
There's a new one out right now, isn't there?
The Wii.
A new Neo?
Neo, no.
Yeah.
They're calling. Okay, so Neo was the Asian Dark Souls, and they're calling Code Vein the Weibo Dark Souls.
Yeah, Neo Dragon of the North. It's
Bandai?
A new game.
Was it from Bandai?
It doesn't look like it.
Fuck. Okay.
That doesn't look like they're.
I'm trying to think of the last time Bandai.
Wait, there's another Neo game coming out?
Yeah,
it's probably DLC.
Or it's DLC.
Like an expansion to the one
that makes more sense.
I'll review Neo Dragon of the North.
Or maybe that's just the subtitle of the game.
Neo was a sleeper hit in my household, blah, blah, blah.
I didn't play it. I watched a friend of mine play it.
Blah, blah.
But I didn't.
There's been a surge in those like hack and slash adventure puzzle games.
There has to be more to the game, and I expect more to the game from Darksiders.
Yeah.
Well, the trailer says it's coming out in 2018. But apparently it's coming out late 2018.
Good. Well, that's stupid.
Actually, I don't think that's good for the game.
No, that's
honestly,
not good. I think they should have waited if they knew the game was going to come out.
Summer or March or spring.
That makes no sense. At least wait till like E3 or something, like tease it or something stupid.
Yeah, this should have been at E3.
Yeah.
So something about these IGN first is these are like the product of large deals that take place several months in advance with like publishers and stuff like that. So when they say, "Hey, we got the deal. We're gonna be the exclusive home of like Darksiders information," it's because that was like IGN struck that deal a while ago, and then somebody else sees that. I remember even the Call of Duty developers used to do it to each other.
Yeah.
Where, hey, we just put out the trailer for Nazi zombies in World at War. How cool is that? And Infinity Ward said, you know what's even cooler? Modern Warfare 2. And put out the trailer like the same day like that one came out. And there was infighting in the emails that came out in that case where they were fighting for their bonuses. So like that kind of stuff happens where it's like, okay, the industry kind of had an idea that Darksiders 3 was coming, and games that occupy kind of a similar space, they gotta shit or get off the pot, man. They gotta get their stuff out there. So
I just don't want a DMC to happen.
I have felt as though that was on the horizon.
Are you talking about like? Do you think they're gonna botch this game?
No, I'm talking about Devil May Cry, the revamp.
That's what I was.
Oh. I was just saying.
You're saying that this was gonna be like a revamp.
No, I'm concerned that it's just a game that's like you jump and you have a horizontal attack and then you have a vertical attack.
But now the camera follows you.
Yeah, it's just like it's like I need more than that now. Like I've had that for years. That was nice. I'm sorry you're late to the game, but like that has already existed.
And
so if you just give me that, then
get more players in because they want to make it accessible,
which is stupid.
Like
I don't want that.
There should
give me
be
something
those
new.
things, but there should also be depth and combos and things like that, like the earlier games.
Yeah,
so
that's why I'm really looking forward to Absolver.
Just don't give me a whole bunch of shitty items that I have to constantly switch out.
Yeah,
and I'll be fine.
Yeah,
and no fetch quest. Darksiders 2.
They have fetch quests in that game?
Yeah, man.
Really?
Yeah.
That doesn't seem like a type of game.
There's more. They infuse more RPG elements in Darksiders 2.
So I suppose we will keep our fingers on the pulse of Darksiders 3.
Yeah.
And as that information comes and
my ears are perked,
is properly excitable, then we'll talk a little bit more about it in the future.
As long as it doesn't do what Prey did, Be okay.
As long as it doesn't do what Prey did, it'll
Prey
be
is
okay.
going to be garbage.
You heard it first.
Bad game.
Joe 2017.
Said I'd never call another game bad. Prey's going to be bad.
That's our first.
That means it's going to be his game of the year.
Yep, in 3 weeks.
So, if you like our content, hit like, go into that comment section. Let us know what you think of Darksiders, or if there's any other games that you kind of miss from the early to mid 2000s. Maybe
what do you want to see come back?
Kingdom Under Fire, please.
Kingdom Under Fire, this guy.
For the love of God.
Yeah.
Blue Side, please
you
come
mean
back.
Kingdom Under Fire 1?
Yes.
Kingdom Under Fire 1, yeah. Very important.
I mean, technically, they did have subtitles called Heroes and Crusaders, so can't really call it one.
Pop that like and subscribe. It helps us out. We'll be back with more later on. Thanks.
Peace. That was pretty good. I like that.
That was smooth. That got a lot more mileage than I thought.
Yeah. That was like a 15-minute.
That was, it was like 18 minutes.
Probably has to be condensed so that people stay.
Yeah, there's a